Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Looking for Warriors. Really quick one. Really quick one. I saw another, my previous one was about an Instagram post. This is another Instagram post, actually from the same person. I'll put it on the screen again, just to give it, and maybe link into his Instagram or her Instagram. I'm not sure if it's him or her, but I'll link into their Instagram. So this post was about McDonald's. It was really interesting because I find this very interesting. I watched the McDonald's movie, not a documentary, but it was about Ray Kroc, who took over McDonald's from the McDonald brothers. He took it over and he sold the franchise, but he found a very interesting revenue generation model, which I remember he was talking to some people. He was doing some sort of interview or something, and it was in the college, and he said, "What is McDonald's revenue model?" And of course, everybody said, "Well, your revenue model is selling burgers," which is what we'd imagine. Yeah, your revenue model is selling burgers. He said, no, that's not the revenue model at all. That's certainly a small part of it, but that's not our actual revenue model. Our revenue model is real estate. So we buy the real estate, we sell the franchise, and we buy the real estate. And a person comes in, you buy a McDonald's franchise, it's a license to print money. You know you're going to get people in. But they rent the real estate back from the McDonald's franchise, and they also pay for the franchise. But the real estate is what he was saying is the real estate was a real business model. And you put a McDonald's into a place, it increases the value of the real estate because other companies and other restaurants go up around the McDonald's. They're like an anchor tenant. So straight away, the value of the real estate, once McDonald's moves in there, increases. And over time, real estate increases anyway, especially in cities where McDonald's are. So the real business model is the real estate. And the reason I'm mentioning this, just real quick, the reason I'm mentioning this is because I want you, as you're building your skill stack, to also look for revenue models that aren't being noticed. So as you're building your skill stack, you're going to notice that you may find secret revenue models that no one has seen before. No one thought about McDonald's as a revenue model from real estate. So there's always extra places where there's money being left on the table, and there's other places where, especially now with digital, when Google started, and I don't want this to go on too long, it's going to be real quick. When Google started, they didn't know how they were going to make money. They had no idea. And the story I heard, maybe it's wrong, but this is the story I heard. There was a search engine, I'll find out the name of it. There was a search engine that their whole revenue model was pay per click. So they never got enough people in. The whole revenue model was pay per click. They didn't have Google's algorithm where all of the websites on the planet, pretty much, well, maybe not all the websites, but every important website on the planet is listed and kept in a database. They didn't have the algorithm, but they just used pay per click. Now, they never got that many people in, so it wasn't a great business model, but he went to, this is the story I heard, he went to Google to show him the pay per click business model, and Google said, well, no, that wouldn't work for us, to him. And a year later, AdWords came out. Now, don't sue me. I understand this going on YouTube. This time you might get demonetized or something for this, but it doesn't matter. I'm not making any money anyway. But they put it on. Google AdWords came out 1 year later, which wasn't the same business model, but it was very similar. The only difference with AdWords was your optimization of the page mattered too. It was very similar. And as we all know, AdWords, I don't know the exact amount, but something like 95% of Google's money comes from AdWords. At least it was a number of years ago. I don't know if that's still the same now, but I think a huge chunk of their revenue comes from AdWords. But when they started, they didn't know what their business model was. They just know they had a really incredible algorithm. And they were putting it out there for free for many years. So look for the hidden revenue model. There's always a hidden revenue model, especially with digital. And think about McDonald's, how McDonald's found that the real estate was the real revenue model, not the burgers. This has been Alan here from Looking for Warriors. It would really be helpful to me if you subscribe to the channel. We love new subscribers, and I notice every new subscriber. And put a comment in. Put a comment in what you think is the best hidden business model that you haven't seen. Put a comment in. I answer every comment.